Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back again. And to my loyal subscribers, I appreciate your love and support. Today we'll be making this Canadian smoking design. It's the arrow design. There's so many variants to the Canadian stitch, but today we'll be trying our hands on the arrow design. Please stay tuned if you're interested in learning how to do this, and don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Let's get straight into it. So to get started with our arrow design Canadian stitch today, we'll first of all need to draw a grid. We create this grid by either using your straight ruler or your long ruler. What you want to do is first of all get your fabric. For example, if you are using this for a sleeve, for example, and your round sleeve is, let's say, 10, you want to multiply your round sleeve by 3 so that you now make the width of this 30. And also remember that we are going to be leaving some allowances on the side. So that means it's going to be 30 for your grid, then 1.5 inches here, 1.5 inches on the other side. Then on this axis, for example, the height of your sleeve is 8 inches. You want to multiply that by 2. So we'll then do 16 inches for your grid. Then you will remember to leave 1.5 inches here and 1.5 inches here. That will serve as the hemming allowance. Now, how do you create your grid? Usually, your grid is supposed to be created using 1-inch boxes. So you want to start from your sewing allowance that you left here, and you want to measure 1 inch either with your tape rule or with your ruler, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch throughout, and then you want to rule it across, and then you also create this as 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. You can easily use your long ruler to achieve this in a quick way. You will be creating this exact grid on the back side of your fabric. For the arrow design, we need to create the arrows on our grid. So here's what we want to do to create the arrows on our grid. So we start from one of the boxes. I'm drawing like a triangle. Note that my triangles are facing the same direction. You can create this arrow design in a way that your arrows face opposite directions. But for this design, I'm creating the arrows to face the same direction. So this is the first set of arrows. Then I'm going to my third row, and I'm also creating the same thing. I'm not starting beside this box. I'm skipping this. So I'm going here. I'm skipping this, and then I'm going here. And this is exactly what we'll be doing for the whole of the grid. So this next one is going to be starting from the top, because this one started from the box too, like this, till we fill the entire grid. We'll be repeating exactly the same thing on our fabric. Remember to create this on the wrong side of your fabric, not on the right side. On the wrong side of your fabric. This is what your grid should look like by the time you have created it. This is what it should look like. So I'm going to repeat this exact grid on my fabric, and then we will continue. I'm done drawing out, replicating my grid on my fabric, and now I'm just going to be showing us quickly how to stitch this. What you want to do is first start from the base of your triangle. The base, the wide parts of the triangle, that's where we are picking from. So first of all, we're picking from this corner like this. Remember to use a matching thread and to knot your needle. So from here, I'm going to this other end here, and then I'll be picking the center, which is here. After picking the center, I'm coming back to where I started. You can either pick it before you tie, or you just pull it and then tie it. So I'll do both methods so that we can see. So if I don't want to pick this third part before I tie, once I get here, I'll pull this together with this, and then I'll create a knot like this. You can tie it as many times as possible just to secure it in place. You can also do this to secure it in place. That is one way. I'll be snipping this off. Then I'm going to the next triangle, knotting my thread. And like I said, we start from the base of the triangle, not from the top, the base. So I'll pick from corner 1, corner 2, and then the pointy parts of the triangle, which is here. And so the second technique, I said, when you pick from here, which is the pointy parts of the triangle, you can as well go back here and pick. This way you can see that your thread is forming a triangle. It's forming the triangle. Then we need to pull it together and then tie off the thread. Two or three times will do. We'll cut this off, and then this is what the right side already looks like. I'm sure we can already see the arrows forming on the right side. The arrows are forming already on the right side of the fabric. I'll do one more before I take the rest off camera and then show us the finished work. Don't forget to knot your thread. Once you have knotted, you want to go to the base of your triangle. The base of your triangle, pick from one corner, the second corner, and then you go to the top of the triangle and you come back to your starting point here. Then we pull it together and make a knot. If you are not comfortable with making a knot, you can easily tie it off like the normal way we tie off our needle and thread, like this. You can turn it around 1, 2, and then bring out your needle. You can do it one more time to secure your stitch in place. You can do it one more time to secure it in place, and then you want to snip off the excess thread. This is what it looks like on the right side. I can see the arrows are already forming, and so we'll do this till we finish the entire process. This is the first row done. So I'll just show us 2 or 3 more on the second row so we can understand how to continue. So now this is the continuation. Remember to start at the base of your triangle. Pick a little from this end, a little from the other end, and then from the center, the top of the triangle, and you come back to your starting point, or you just pull it and knot. Back to the starting point and you tie. We'll do one more on the second row so we can all understand it. So you want to check carefully. That's the next triangle. Start here, the base. Pick from the other side, and then the top of the triangle. Pull it together and tie. Here's what we have now. You can see our arrow design clearly forming. We can see the first row and the second row. So as we continue, the entire fabric will be filled with arrows. Here's the outcome. This is the right side and this is the wrong side. We can all see that the arrows are formed just like we had it drawn out on our grid initially, just like this. So now to finish off your raw edges, one thing I do to make it easy is I try to arrange the fabric in the direction it's coming, it's ending in. And like I pin it in place like this. I can also pin this as well. So that I have like a straight line and then I can stitch on it to finish my edges nicely. Like a straight line. Like I told us initially, this was meant to be our seam allowance, so we can easily stitch on this to end this part nicely. We'll do the same for the other sides. So we want to put this in place like this. When we come to this side, we'll follow the direction in which it's ending so that we have all our arrows in place. So this way on the sides, I'll be pinning down this as well, and it's going to be our allowance for the side. We'll be repeating the same process for the entire four corners. Just make sure that you follow the pattern on whichever corner you are working with to ensure that everything aligns nicely, and then you can stitch a straight line here to have your neat base. And now when you are done doing this, you can then place your sleeve pattern or whatever you're working with on this and cut it out. That's how to create the arrow design Canadian smoking. If this tutorial has been helpful, please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe. If it's your first time here, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on your notification bell. I hope to see you in my future tutorials. And if you do try practicing this, please share with us on our Facebook or Instagram pages at Explicit Collections. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.